Hello, hello, hello. Hello there. Greetings. All as always, a great pleasure and honor to connect with you as one family indeed. We have a beautiful subject matter tonight as always. And yes, to start things off, we're probably going to run a song, and then we have a special guest in the house tonight with us. He'll be leading us into some exercises, and then we'll get into our seminar. And of course, as always, following will be our discussion. Tonight, our subject matter is on trust. So as you all join into the network, we'll play a song and then get into the proceedings. Thank you for joining us as always. A great honor and divine pleasure to connect with you all. Thank you for being here. Yeah, you got this song on your page, bro? The playlist? One moment, please, as we pull up our network and start things off. What's the first song, CeeLo?
The first one? Street Angels.
Okay, cool. This first song we call Street Angels. Actually recorded this back when I was over in LA. It's featuring myself and Lukeman Starr, a gentleman, fellow cohort and artist that moved together with me and the crew on the West Coast. And yeah, it's a beautiful song.
Not bad.
One moment, please.
Street Angels.
Sunrise. It's like that though. Back in a second. Yeah. Send the masters we here. Universal sisters and brothers always. Salute the fleet. We on the ground. Joe, sky. Always for the new word. Joe, focus on essentials. The glory in life of potentials. Directions variate through emotions. Looking more riders. Face first over waves. Open chest, shy day, challenge days. Still amazed. The changes. The trees stand tall while reflecting all the seasons. Leaves steady breathing. Brown, bare, budded to a blossom. The abundance that is natural, rather awesome. Wild wonder about the wonders. Flowers gon' grow amongst the tundra. Enjoy the ice caps and the colors. Tulips grow next to one another. Peace is not a struggle. Yeah, Glory to the brothers being humble, shining sisters, birthing the creations. Same essence manifested through the music. Pregnant with a blessing, got to feed this baby every morning. Skip the yawning. Son, do no chillin', so the flesh reflect all the energy I'm building. Beastin' through the buildings, cause I'm willing to rumble through the struggles of a concrete jungle. Archangel Michael in your cipher. Pine Piper, Royal Blue, Rap Golden. Hold it, Royal Blue, Rap Golden. Behold it, yeah. 2015. Wings on ministry. Yeah. Joe. Got our wings on in the street, man. Yeah. Joe. Lord. Close your eyes to the truth. The frequencies we knew as a youth. Before the program and after school, it was cool just to play. I used to wish recess was all day. Through the football right away. Didn't care about the bank unless the teller was giving no circles away. Yeah, more symbolism as you wake fast, break down the core, poor boy shoes in the crate. Ain't nobody paid. We was having fun anyway. No funds for the protege. God be my sponsor through the day. Hey.
We got our wings on the street. We got our wings on the street. We got our wings on. We got our wings on. Got our wings on the street. We got our wings on the street. We got our wings on. Got our wings on. Got our wings on. Got our wings on. In the zone. In the zone. In the zone. Got our wings on. Got our wings on. Flying home. Flying home. Flying home. Got our wings on. Got our wings on. Thank you very much.
God said, "You may be a very high being who has habits and mannerisms and ideas that do not reflect you as the high being you are. This is how it can be said that the beggar at your door could be Christ. Outside phenomenon do not tell you the whole story. This is one very good reason why to be neither persuaded nor dissuaded by looks or by wealth or poverty or by anything at all. Information may be one thing or another, may be valid or invalid. Good manners or poor manners may vary. We are speaking of your concepts and your percepts and what they mean to you. The poorest may be the wealthiest. The wealthiest may be the poorest. Where are you looking? And what is it that you look for? The wisest could be the most foolish. The most foolish could be the wisest, as seen in fairy tales where the know-nothing youngest son is the wisest of all and wins the day because he is innocent and truly sees what is before him. And so it is said, out of the mouths of babes. A most avid reader could be less aware than someone who does not know how to read. Someone who does not know to read may be better able to see for himself. Yes, be very careful about getting caught up in judgment. Too often judgment, the conclusions judgment comes to deny you the great favor of expanded awareness. Stranger things have happened in life in the world, have they not? What is not possible in this world when you are open to the possibility? What is not possible even when you may not be open to the possibility? You do not even know what miracles you may have been part of heretofore. How do you know with certainty that you have not walked on water? Everyone can be a miracle worker with or without belief. My human children are very quick to notice their size and to go by it. In fact, animals may not even consider the concept of big or little in the same way as they do not think of wealthy or poor. Open your heart and mind to greater. And then, guess what? You are greater.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for joining us today for our Let's Build seminar and discussion. So in actuality, we're doing something a little teeny bit different today. We'll start our show off. I'm actually going to introduce him first. You probably are very well aware of some of the brothers and sisters within our circle, in our cipher. However, one joins us today in the physical, and he would like to go through a breathing exercise before our seminar portion of the Let's Build today. Of course, he is a poet, a dancer, one of the lead dancer within our circle who introduces us to the dance community and some of the events that we do explore here on Europe, this side of the water. And of course, he's a herbalist, which is cool. I feel like every crew needs a herbalist and a nutrition, a nutrition guru. And he is the host of the Banana Gorilla Show, which is shared on this wall, which speaks on different topics involving culture, awakening, and of course nutrition. And he goes by the name of Dr. Manhattan. If this was the Starship Enterprise, he would be Bones. And Mr. Bones, Dr. Manhattan, joins us today, and he would like to share a breathing exercise with you all before we get into our seminar portion on trust. So once again, open your hearts. A warm welcome for Dr. Manhattan, y'all.
Peace, peace.
You have to come closer, bro.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm going to keep a little bit of distance because I want to show you guys something with breathing. It's going to deal with breathing, your imagination, along with breathing. I'll show you something that you can use to help you with healing. And this guy someone had problems with anxiety and a little bit of stress and stuff that you can do for the physical body. So I'm going to go through it real quick with you. First, I always warm up. I do a class on Monday, so I always have people who attend the class do a quick warm up. And you guys can join me, go along with them. You can use this. If you don't have a gym, if you don't have time to go to a gym, and you just want to, do something every day that you can do your own inner working as far as physical health and healing. So I want everybody to kind of get a little distance with your legs, shoulder distance apart. And we'll just start from the top to the bottom, and then we'll get into our breathing exercises, and then we'll just finish up. It won't be long, it's only real fast, real quick. So we're going to start with the neck isolation real quick, and you can do this a number of times. You can do it 10. We're going to do it short today. We're going to do 5. So just follow along with me. And like I said, we'll get through it real fast, and it'll be very, very rewarding for you and a good healing. So we'll start with our neck. We'll do a neck isolation. We'll go to the left side first. We'll do just some isolation. Three. Other side. Okay, and we want to go to our shoulders. I did a 5 count. I usually do a 10 count, but this is just something so you can get started with. So later on you can do a 10 count or however many count you want to do. But we're going to do our shoulders next, and we're going to go back for a 5 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to go forward now. Okay, and now we want to go to our waist, and we want to go to our left side and get a good revolving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we're going to work down to our knees. And a lot of people have a problem with their knees, including me. But this is a good exercise to help out with your knees and your joints. Something good to start off in the morning. You want to get a good little bend to your knees, and you want to rotate them. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is just a good something you can start in the morning, quick wake up, wake the body up real quick. So now we're going to get into our primary core exercises, which is the breathing technique. And you got to practice this, because healing is something you definitely got to practice. But when you do this right here, you'll feel tremendous. You'll feel a lot better afterwards. You want to get into a little, your feet shoulder width apart, little spread. You want to get your knees bent a little. Show you on the side. Get a little bit bent. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring up from here. We're going to breathe. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. We're going to go a 7 count because this will really open you up. And this is like going to the gym for a good workout right here. So, ready? Breathe in. All the way to the top. And when you get to the top, you want to come down and breathe out. Front, lock back again, breathe in, all the way to the top. And out. And again. And out. Deep breaths. And out. And again. And out. And out. We're going to do 2 more, but this time I want you to concentrate on your feet being planted on the ground. Put a little tension on your feet. Root yourself to the ground. Pull your shoulders back a little so it's comfortable for you. You got to get very, very comfortable. I'll get to the side so you can see it. And what you're doing is you're also keeping you want to strengthen up your core. So you want to keep your core tight because inside your core is like a sun. It's like a mini energy. And you want to keep it as tight as possible so you're kind of squeezing everything to one spot in the core. When you're breathing in and when you're breathing out, you're fueling the fire. So we're going to do our last 2. And your head, you want to make sure you're grounded. So you keep your shoulders back, head straight, grounded, and your stomach in. Tighten it in for the last 2. Feet grounded and ready. Bring it in. And out. Exhale. Keep it in your stomach. Use your imagination. Breathe the air into your stomach, into your core. And this is your last one. Ready? Breathe in. And out through your mouth. And what I want you to do is just shake it out. And we're going to get into 1 more. This is a big shout out for all you tree huggers out there, nature lovers who love trees and stuff. This is a good one. You want to get back into the same position, same pose right here, resting, shoulder back. And you want to come out like so, because you're going to hug a tree right now. And you want to put tension in your hands, arms. You want to tense up everything, legs, feet, plant it to the core. And you want to do the same thing, breathing in and out through your mouth. Remember, keep your core tight. Okay, we're going to do 2 more to finish it off. Remember, keep everything tight. Keep your feet tight, grounded, shoulder back, head up, stomach in. You're squeezing your core, so you're squeezing your core, squeezing, getting all the air to come down to your core. And it's gonna feel real good afterwards. So, last count of 2. Inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, shake it out. And we're gonna end this. That was a quick exercise. We're gonna end it with our neck isolation again, just to end it. But that's one good way you wanna definitely build up more. Like we're doing real short today, so we're not hurting anybody. We're going real slow, real easy. But put that into practice, put that deep breathing into practice. And what you wanna do, real quick, I'm not going to go through so much. Maybe another time with the session we'll go even deeper into it. But what you want to do, you want to use your imagination when you're doing that as well. Your nostrils, as well as you pulling in tight with your core, make your stomach into your nostrils. So when you're breathing in, you're getting it right to that area. You know you're concentrating on that core. And it's a great workout without going to the gym, and gives you gets your circulation going and gets your blood flowing. So we're going to go back to the neck isolations, and then we're going to end the exercise like that. So back to the neck and around. Keeping your stomach tight. Other side. Shoulders back. Continue breathing. Forward. Okay, hip rotation, isolation. Keeping your core tight. And breathe. Other side. Knees. Other side. Okay, shake it out. Whew. All right.
So go ahead, can you post and give us a summary real quick and plug?
All right. So, 113, aka Dr. Manhattan, that was a quick breathing exercises for you. Something good to get up in the morning and do. It's real quick, real easy. You don't need a gym. With the breathing exercise, you want to get into it as much as possible for lymph. And the more you do it, it's just like you add it on with your meditation. So right after meditation, get up and do a quick breathing exercise. Gather as much prana, oxygen as possible you can. Always remember you're using your imagination with this, so you want to make sure you turn your stomach into a nostril. So when you're breathing in deep, you bring in as much air as possible to your core, and that's fueling your core, and you're just fueling your sun. So you're just using pretty much your imagination to turn your stomach into nostrils, and you're breathing, taking deep, deep breaths. And what it's been doing for me is wonders. It gives you a lot of energy, gets your circulation going, and just basically grounds you and begins. If people have any issues or stuff internally in your body, concentrate on those particular areas that hurt when you're breathing, then turn those particular painful areas into nostrils and breathe as much air as possible to that particular area, and it will give you relief. Just remember, healing is a process, so it does take, you will feel better, a lot more energy as time goes on. So just feel it, and that's about it. Dr. Manhattan, peace, 113, you know it.
Gorilla banana, baby.
Thank you, girl. Absolutely love. All righty. So, a beautiful expression of one of the physical practices which comes with the healing process. There are many, however, once again, through your own essence, through your own intuition and harmonic sense of being, there's a connection there where you recognize what resonates with you and then what is helpful. Once again, every time we come into contact with a sense of healing through whatever aspect of creation there is, it's an opportunity. Once again, right now is the most important moment, and that which is being provided by the divine is for you. So once again, regardless of your past experiences, where you are at your present level of awareness or in your path, that which is being presented is the most important aspect of your journey. So be open and embrace it. This is wisdom in action. The openness, acceptance, and unconditional love, which is in alignment with who you are in truth. So once again, today's discussion is on trust. Which is a seminar, if you will, is on trust, and we will have a discussion afterwards or proceeding, or after those proceedings, to further get into detail of the nature of trust. So, this was our first half an hour, and bear with me. There's a lot here as to the nature of trust. And in actuality, trust is at the foundation of our openness, our acceptance to what is this now moment, and that which is being provided by infinite intelligence through the orchestration that is life, that is this now moment, the intuitive knowing or guidance that has brought you to this now moment to connect with these transmissions. As a disclaimer, I always express that, yes, the sound vibrations and information being expressed through this physical vehicle are helpful, very potent, and directly from who we are of the angelic realms of the Galactic Council of the Galactic Federation of Light, and who I am as your Commander Ashtar. However, there is a more potent connection within your own presence, within your heart space, which is providing the exact same guidance in a much more potent frequency that resonates with you as an individual. In your language, in your harmonic frequency, through your own being, this information is being communicated through the presence of who we are etherically, through the connection, through these transmissions. So with that being said, once again, ground yourself, open yourself, and accept. Trust. Trust is not in believing. It's not in hoping, wishing, praying, faith. It's an aspect of knowing. When we reflect on our human experience here, when we reflect on the nature of existence here on the hell planes, through this incarnation, there has been much energy invested in preparing for disappointment, preparing for disappointment. so much energy. We are attempting to protect ourselves in preparing for what we don't want. When you see it from this vantage point, based on the way it's being articulated, you recognize the insanity and sickness in such a focus, such an investment, an unwise investment in your imagination, in your manifestation abilities, preparing for that which you do not prefer. Humans always or often speak of building trust. Building trust as if it's a structure, if it's something that needs to be created. Like it doesn't exist. There's another direction that comes with awakening. There's a broader view, a much more wise view of the nature of trust when it comes to awakening. In actuality, trust is an integrated aspect of your presence. How? Trust is in your presence. Trust is in being. Trust is the piece that recognizes infinite intelligence as intelligent. It understands and recognizes life as intelligent and is exactly how it's supposed to be in this now moment. It's already there. There's nothing that needs to be built when it comes to trust. In actuality, trust when it comes to awakening is about tearing down the walls of fear that you've built around the purity of your love. Let's absorb that for a moment. And I'll reiterate one more time. Trust, when it comes to fear, is the tearing down of the walls that you've built around your love. The defense mechanisms that are based on the illusory experiences of the past, the disappointments, the failures, the perceived errors and ignorance. So in actuality, it's not necessarily about building trust. It's about accepting trust. And acceptance is an aspect of your healing, the letting go process, and allowing the truth of who you are as a creator. So there are many who will say, trust nobody. I don't trust nobody but myself. You don't. It will assume it's foolish to trust others. Once again, this doesn't work. This doesn't work at all. In actuality, to trust no one is to agree to an existence based on bondage. And that bondage is basically the fear to exist while existing. The fear to coexist and experience your own energy. The fear of oneself, which is basically insanity. Based on the linear experience, past pains, running from the illusion of the past versus being present and recognizing there has never ever been any mistakes or accidents within your entire existence. Now is exactly what it's supposed to be. What has happened has taken place as a catalyst of the strength that you currently are in being present and continuing to love, to offer, to share the gift of existence here on planet Earth. And it's being a reflection and an example of the true strength and omnipotence of Prime Creator, which you are. And trust is about our relationship with the unknown, the unseen, the mysteries of life. And in actuality, the miracle of life, the enjoyment of life is about the unseen. It's about the unknown. It's the surprise. I use this analogy a lot. The joy of a child on a Christmas morning, for those of you here in the Western world, the joy of a child has its foundation in the stimuli of surprise. Not knowing the blessing that is before oneself. Recognizing it's a blessing, however, not knowing the exact capacity and nature of the blessing before oneself. This is the foundational stimuli of why a Christmas morning is so magical. To step back for a moment and recognize this analogy is to recognize the nature of your love, the nature of your existence. You're blessed. You're here. You know this. However, the path before oneself is unknown. However, there's one thing that a wise soul knows, and that is the fabric of existence is love. And who we are as the creator in creating the experience of the unfoldment of this love is a blessing of our own. So once again, the unknown is a blessing. And when we recognize this and from a deeper state of being, we recognize that we can let go, the nature of trust. Anxiety, control, manipulation, an attempt to make sure that which we would like to experience or which we expect to experience or anticipate to experience actually takes place. This is driven by the fear of the ego mind, the insurance that everything is going to be okay and go in the direction that we want based on the limitations of our own expectations, our own anticipation of what's taking place. You're not here to control anything. Once again, you're not here to control anything. It's necessary to realize that you are everything. You are everything. There's nothing that you're here to control. Step back and experience the miracle that you created, in confidence, in trust, in knowing who you are as the creator of this all that is you, your own essence, your own sense of being, the fabric of existence. I dare to say the hardest work here within the physical form is self-control. However, once again, this is not necessarily about control. For lack of a better term, let's say self-governance, governing oneself, giving one permission to exist beyond validation, beyond dependency on confirmation, the questions of the mind, and assuming that there's a right or wrong and someone else knows a better way to live your life than you do. Being God is about trusting yourself enough to trust the life you've created. Trusting yourself enough to trust what you created, because you created it all. Every last bit of it. That which you consider to be failures, accidents, coincidences, never were. They were all orchestrations of your own. All of it, orchestrations of your own. Once again, you're brilliant. You're the greatest storyteller there ever was. And within this fabric of existence that we know as love, it's necessary to realize that this is a love story. This is a love story, and you are playing the leading role. There are those that say it's necessary to learn how to trust again. First and foremost, trust is not a mental activity. Trust is a frequency of wisdom that comes natural with your sense of pure presence. It's a frequency, trust, that comes natural. It's a frequency of wisdom, the presence that knows who you are, that knows you are infinitely intelligent, experiencing your own intelligence in the form of this electromagnetic hologram that you observe as the observer. It takes a lot of strength and confidence to embrace this fabric, to exist from a place of acceptance. Once again, the easiest thing to do is fight. The easiest thing to do is manipulate and attempt to control. Attempting to pull strings in fear that there's a chance that intelligence is not already orchestrating what's taking place. This is the mind. This is the limitations of the ego mind. And trust is not a tit for tat, superficial action and reaction type of function based on appearances. There are those of you that will say, okay, I trust myself. I'm going to do this and I'm going to give this person another chance or whatever. And the person may disappoint you or do something that you might the ego mind might have expected them to do, which you do not prefer. Yeah. And then the mind will say, see, I told you they would do that. I told you they would do that. See, I'm trying to trust myself, and the person is doing what I thought he was going to do anyway. I should have just not trusted them. So you can't trust people. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all. It's expanded upon as a practice through a continuous sense of self-trust and honesty, grace. It's a way of being. It's not something that you decide to do one day, and because things don't turn out the way you expect them to based off of the decisions that you've made in the present, you can go back and decide, I don't trust people anymore. I keep trying it, but then people always let me down. It's a lot more complex than that. A lot more complex than that. There's things that take place that things always take place as they should. And the expectations and anticipations that we may have of another may or may not come to pass. However, once again, this is intelligence. If it's not supposed to be, and this person is not meeting your expectations, or they are meeting your negative expectations based on you expecting that which you do not prefer, guess what? That was supposed to happen. However, through your sense of presence, intuition, being, and openness, the way will be expressed to you. It's necessary to digress and continue to work on it. And then there's confusion. There's the mind that says, okay, well, who can I trust? Who can I trust? Who can I trust? Who can I trust? If I can't trust this person, I can't trust that person, if they don't meet my expectations, and so on and so forth. Who can I trust? Trust yourself. Trust yourself to love and keep moving forward. Remain open, beyond judgment. Remain open, present, beyond judgment. Trust yourself that regardless of what it is, that which you intend to experience is being created. Regardless if it's through the person you expect to manifest it for you or assist you in a project, continue to give them the opportunity to do so. If they don't do so, that's okay. You can provide that opportunity to another person. But once again, it's not necessarily about getting discouraged or placing your expectations and dependency on another. Always return to the heart space. Trust yourself. And trusting yourself is existing beyond fear that which you are here to experience is being created. And it's being created in the most intelligent way that's the most beneficial to who you are as the source of all creation. Trust is beyond questions and answers. It's beyond Q&A. Say, the answers all inside. The answers are in silence. The answers. No, trust is not in Q&A. It's embracing. Trust is in the embrace of the silence of infinite intelligence. Trust, smile, love. Once again, we'll take a break here. We're about 50 minutes. And we're going to take a song break. and then we will continue forth with our discussion portion of the seminar. Once again, today's topic is on trust, and we will continue to move forward after this. What's good, CeeLo?
Yo. What's going on, y'all? Thanks for tuning in. We're going to our second break right now. The song is called Wizard Work. It's a song we did probably, I want to say late last November. It is with Young Miyagi, who is, you guys probably know him as RJ, myself, and Lavelle Zimmerman. So without further ado, here is Wizard Work.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others.
Yeah! Universal brothers and sisters, you know how we do things. Yeah. Downstage in me. It's gonna work great to record it. Yeah. Yo, gladiators cutting deeper than lasers, amazing. Ripping track with DJs, slicing the ice with some razors. So if you think about what's truly inside of my silence, become a Tyson, nice, so sonically violent and blinded. I swear to God, always blind. I swear to God, the promise regardless. Enthusiastic mother, father, unknown was born in the storm without one and born in the hearts of the arms. Be seen, stop when I'm walking and slide. Give like the kind of hot feathers all on my armor. So open up to my shoulders. It's like your mind to be rolling. Instead of stacking the zone in my distance. Watch the 7 as I kick it with my breath. The flow is dope as a reference. God vision, blue suede, that was blue flame, love Elohim, truth in our names, throw away the toothpaste, and like your sun blazer with J, Q God, overseas knives, sonically they say, speak for interchange, no resisting what you say, confetti on the way.
Yeah. Original wizard gang. Beyond all doubts I stand. I got youngins on the block, they my stands. Main fans saying your music is beautiful, fam. I just smile, let them give them dapping past gyms, yeah. Sitting still like I'm asleep but I'm up. If you post up over here, you get robbed. By me, big and small, is rockin' and that meth doom in the lab, cooking real from the tomb. I fly y'all on the carpet like a legend, central place right there. Do my years, so I line to my year. I got this thing with the crew. About to check the whole globe, the blueprint of the globe. Mom brown when I'm mobbing, on my dime poetry, I be slanging. On my dime, on my neck, blank, blank. Let the sound boost up, turning up, a double plate when I serve up the squad. No tea for me, pass the Dutch maybe. No clutch, I go off, baby. 225, dig 'em.
Love, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Build. Today's discussion is on trust. We have just finished our seminar portion of our 2-hour escapade into the realms of the unknown and that which is known within the divine heart space that is our own and which we share as one family. So we're going to go ahead and start entertaining some of our questions. CeeLo, what you got, man?
Questions. Let's see.
I saw some at the top. When I was,
Way up top?
Yeah, when I was talking.
Check yours, because this thing,
Okay.
you know, mine is what is yours?
One moment, please. Yo, do me a favor, son, and check for my phone. Probably.
What is it?
Over there.
Okay, I know.
One moment, please. We are dialing up our inquiries. If you do have any inquiries, please feel free to share them with us all as we heal together.
Really? How's it doing? So, today from the video?
Today, like 9 hours ago. Before we even started, we had already asked the question.
Okay. All right. So you want to check this out, G? I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, he asked like 9 hours ago.
Go ahead and ask that question, Steve.
Okay. So from Vernon Simmons, I found myself being in an almost constant state of tension, anxiety, and low level of fear and dread almost 24/7. And emotionally numb. It's not pleasant. Almost cut off from love. So yeah, just going through some. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't the question more of a statement?
Yeah. He's feeling a little down.
Yo, can you restate the statement, Bourne?
I find myself, okay, this is from Varun Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Varun Simmons?
Peace, what up, Varun?
Says, I find myself in an almost constant state of tension, anxiety, and low-level fear, dread almost 24/7, and emotionally numb. It's not pleasant, almost cut off from love.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a statement, I guess.
Yeah, understood.
Question. Yeah.
Understood. No, I do feel you, V. These experiences can be intense, and once again, in actuality, you recognize that none of this is true. Being cut off from love is impossible. It may be filtered through the mind's fear and what we all know as perception. Once again, this is the ego mind's view of life, which is limited, to say the least. It's beyond perception. Life is, love is. There is no cutting yourself off from love. You may experience an aspect of the illusion. And once again, any experience of the illusion remains but a catalyst to expand upon the vibrancy and nature of your love. It's but an aid to capitalize on the love that you are, to further embrace the nature of the love that you are. So once again, but an illusion and always temporary. There will be those that experience this, including myself, within the linear experience in a sense of loneliness or doubt, fear, feeling as if you are cut off from love. But once again, amongst the statement or the affirmation that we are cut off from love, there is the realization within the heart space that we're basically describing a temporary illusion, a temporary experience, which in actuality is an illusion, even amongst the statement that we are cut off from love, or we are having a bad day or a bad time, if you will. Even within the statement of such a reality, even the statement becomes an illusion, because there's always this now moment. There's always now. And now is the only true reality that there is right now. So we have the choice. We have the decision. Yes, of course, healing is necessary to take place. It's an intention. However, the mind will say these things in attempts to maintain that state. It will attempt to maintain the distorted reality, if you will, the illusory catalyst, if you will. However, through a sense of presence, we have the ability to recognize that that is over right now, and there is this now moment, which is in truth a place of peace, a place of abundance, a place of knowing, a place of infinite intelligence, where we are not victims. We are experiencing our own love, and that's that which is necessary to expand upon or capitalize as far as the nature of our love goes and the experience of that which is. So we embrace it, we accept it, and we move forward. Always from a frequency of trust, which is natural within our being. So once again, I appreciate the statement in being open and honest to the nature of what's taking place within your experience. But once again, the illusory experience is the illusion. The truth remains that which is peace. Peace is eternal, beyond. So, do we have any other inquiries? See y'all looking. Hey Mel, I'm glad you had the same couch a few years back. This couch looks like the couch you had a few years back. I see Reginald Tony has joined us. Hey, Sergeant Tony. It's my old squad leader. Yes, trust is beyond logic, Mel. Is it possible to always trust yourself? Yes. Yes. And this is a question from Lucy. Is it possible that your higher self not be the truth? No, this is not possible. Your higher self exists within the frequency of peace. Peace is eternal. Peace is never not the truth. Never. If anything, the grounding work that is connecting you more with the presence, which is the higher self, the sense of being, which is the higher self, is being cultivated amongst your path. As you continue to awaken and ground yourself and trust yourself, you recognize that which is the intuition versus the talking going on within the ego mind. There is a difference. However, it's not about attempting to tell or analyze how can I tell the difference, because once again, that is a question received quite often. How can I tell the difference between the ego mind and the intuition? This question is wholesome. However, the question is from the ego mind itself, attempting to sell you the idea that the voice in your head has your best interest in mind. Doubt, questions, the ego mind, always. It's the ego mind asking the question, attempting to sell you on the idea that you are the voice in your head. Very clever, very tricky. But once again, it's there. The intuition is always there. It's working and operating absolutely perfectly. Beyond all doubt, all fear, all question. It's always present. Always.
I can't get no.
Yeah, it's all good.
Where you at?
Right here, from Laura.
Okay.
Hey, Laura.
So Laura, your question. Can you speak on your experience with Commander Ashtar? Did it take time for you to trust the information coming to you at first?
Hold on. Say it one more time.
Can you speak on your experience with Commander Ashtar? Did it take time for you to trust the information coming to you at first?
So, recognize, Laura, that I am Commander Ashtar. This information is not coming from a source outside of who I am. As far as the title, this is fairly new to my conscious awareness. However, the information and the ability to, as far as the knowing of the information is being articulated, it's always been present on a certain level. Always. It was a moment within the linear experience that it manifested itself. Of course, there was healing that still needed to be taking place because there was an initial rejection. Whenever someone presents to you the idea that you have such a responsibility in being entitled to commander, for me, I saw it as more work, which I wasn't necessarily prepared for. I was comfortable. I didn't care about the titles of the names or the associations. To be frank, I wanted to see freedom on the planet. I wanted to see financial freedom on the planet for my family, and the things and the people around me that I love so dear. That was my primary focus, was freedom, not the titles. I didn't care about that. I wanted to see freedom. I recognized the deception amongst the world governments and the nature of the cabal and the deep, dark deception that I was very frustrated with during the time of my awakening. At that point, I did not care about any of the associations, titles, ranks, or whatever the case may be. I was focused on freedom and whatever was necessary for me to do or embrace to see that come to pass. This was my focus. However, in maturing and recognizing the nature of what's taking place, I embraced it with the entirety of my being, and with that came the downloads, light codes, and associations that come with who I am as Commander Ashtar. And I've accepted this as not an aspect of my being, but the entirety of my being and the work being expressed here on planet Earth. So the knowingness and trust, of course, is something that's developed. However, once again, the gifts are inherent within the presence of the being when there is an acceptance of what's taking place. So, you have anything else, bro?
Nope.
Nope. Laura says, "Hey, Corey."
Let's do that. Yeah, I said hi back already. Hey, Laura, how you doing? Thanks for being here with us again. Still part of the community. Oh, here you go. Because I gave all your AKAs out. So, from Carrie Chu, where does your other alias Asiatic come from? That's a good question.
Asiatic came from during my awakening path, I want to say 12, 13. Since 12, 13 years old, the people around me have been calling me Asiatic. As a youth, I got kicked out of quite a bit of churches.
No.
I kicked out of quite a bit of churches, and that created a sense of resentment to the conventional religious structures. As far as and the reason I got kicked out wasn't necessarily mixed behavior, but in the Baptist community, a lot of times they require you to wear a certain dress. I want to say we had on jeans one time at church and got kicked out. A very intense experience, which brought about a lot of resentment from myself towards that community. at the time in the urban community, there's a lot of people that rely on and place dependency on the religious community for a sense of divinity, the communication or connection with something greater. And of course, within the Baptist community, it's Jesus Christ. Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. However, at the time, some friends of mine in school were into what they call 5% is the 5% nation. And basically the gods and the earths. Clarence 13X, a gentleman from the western parts of Virginia, created that movement. This was embraced by me off of the strength that they told me that I was God. And this was something that I resonated with deeply. Told me that I was God. It wasn't Jesus or somebody outside of me. They told me I was God. And as a youth, they were speaking my language. And they said the original man was the Asiatic black man, maker, owner, cream of the crop, father of civilization, and God of the universe. As a youth, hearing that sentence struck chords with me, and I, or basically a friend of mine labeled or gave me that name and said that's who I was, and I accepted it. Since then, I've carried the name forth and evolved beyond the tutelage of that particular sect, being that it had a deep sense of separation within the teachings of that particular organization. And I recognized that the first degree was something that I needed to expand upon within my awakening path and realizing self. To tell a person there's God is a lot. And I wasn't necessarily comfortable moving on to the second degree or third degree or lesson 2 after I fully absorbed and embraced what it meant that when someone told me that I was God. So I embraced it and accepted it. However, I moved on past that phase or that school of thought into non-thought.
Oh, that one. Okay. That way. My bad, G.
Yeah. What else you got, bro?
I got 2 questions from Frank.
Yo. Hey, Frank.
First question is, can Commander Ashtar incarnate in many beings at once?
Yes, I am incarnate in many beings as of right now. There are 2 active and fully embracing this path as you know it. An aspect of myself is Centaurus and Thaddeus Jackson, which is Christ Jackson, many of you know. One of the more evolved aspects of self on this particular plane. However, once again, we are one in the same essence, a split commander form, if you will, and being basically the forerunners of and the leads of the 144,000 extraterrestrials, which is our ground crew here on the ground. And once again, we represent the same being, the same essence, and we are but 2 of the split commander collective that is here. So.
And the next one from Frank is, what are your thoughts on Malachi Z. York?
What are my thoughts on Malachi Z. York? I have no thoughts or opinions on Malachi Z. York. However, that was one of the school of thoughts that I evolved beyond the Nawapian community, if you will. Yes, I embrace quite a bit of tutelage. In actuality, at 13 years old, I was given a Malachi Z. York book called The Mind. A young man saw me on the book and told me I looked like I was smart and that I should read this. And the only thing he asked of me was that after I read that book, that I pass it down to someone else. And within that book was one of my favorite quotes that basically stated,
That's the ringer, right? Every time I do that, it hits the okay, there we go.
Within that book, the first page, one of my favorite quotes was, "It's not the winds of change, it's the set of the sail." And this is where I started my philosophy phase of my journey. I have no thoughts on Dr. York and his purpose. However, right knowledge reigns supreme. When you recognize the nature of the path and the expressions through the intuition, you recognize what is and what is not. However, all are here to embrace and carry out a particular mission in the liberation of humanity. Beyond all separation, from a place of unity, all aspects of creation have a purpose. And once again, that purpose at its core essence is unconditional love and acceptance of what is, where we're all here to shine as examples of the divine truth, where we are here to realize oneself and the nature of who we are as a creator. So what you got?
That's pretty much it. Frank said he studied from the same schools as well, which has brought him right here to this present moment. So I can see it. Yeah, see. That's it. That's the question. I'm going to a break from that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So we're at the 116 mark. Today's discussion is on trust. Being that we don't have that many questions in our comment section, we're going to go to another break, another music break. If there's any more comments, please feel free to add on, and we'll address them when we get back. Thank you for being here. Once again, this is Let's Build, and yes, more healing. Let's keep it moving.
All right, folks, we are going into our third break. Well, actually, yeah, official third break right now. The next song you will hear is called On. This is a very prolific song for me, as it's something that got me through a rough patch. I want to say last winter. I was in a little depressive mode, but I got through it by listening to a lot of music that AZ was making. And this one is called On, and it has a lot to do with what we're speaking about this evening. Truth and acceptance, self-love, and trust in yourself. So without further ado,
hello, God.
I'll present to you a composition called On. If any loads, there we go.
I present to you a composition I like to call On. Similar to a light switch. Once it's on, there is no off. There is no going back to the darkness. Just like a match, there is no darkness. There's only the light. No matter how small or large, there's the truth of you. I'd like to give a big shout out to the mirror. A beautiful creation in which I realize truth. Jump. Salute the fleet one time, yo. Steady, stellar. Yeah. The tipping point of an avalanche, showered in abundance that was flattened out and planted on the seeds that was coming to fruition. But he listened to the essence so ecstatic that I listened to the interference. I was getting covered out of illusion over souls. It was time before me thinking I was losing everything I own. And stepping off the throne, but for real, I was really stepping onto the golden sea as the source of the DP. You know that you know, like you know you were God. Ain't a fear that you scared, you will wait for the stratosphere. Pioneer volunteers and the stars will be persevere. Yeah, never under anything but shedding real. Saying cheers to the most high, I see in the mirror. In the eyes of the kids, who cares? I never settle dance with the devil in the lava. Make them twerk till I shine. And my mother loved the fight work. The first step that has fast and low twerks. Trying to work on my nerves with the fearful grammar slamming. Family of the planet. DiBiase on the savage. I be married to my purpose. Holy matrimony mission. Bringing freedom to the multiverse and never stop creating. I'm a prison with a life that's so amazing. It's no third degree. Everything that's not the truth of me given 3D. I couldn't get stung if I was a beekeeper with honey drizzles on my tummy. Yeah, many years came before me, but it's me doing me eternally upon it, be amongst the family. Coming down at many streets so big, my dude, you can't see the end of it. I told the souls that gotta mean this, that real love is. Count them. The magnum opus of science, geometric in alignment with the music. Of the silence and the miracle of breathing. It's the magic of the moment, grounded down in the serotonin. All the apples and conscious entertainment, separation, all the beautiful creations. We came to build a astonishing for humans. It's a pleasure and a service that we do in front of army. Yeah, keep it moving, booming. Free. To the masters, who I am is Commander Ashtar. We came to work here from an energetic level. Superseding all superficial forms of the etherics. True healing. Yeah. Hold up, G. We ain't finished yet. Just like a blast in the past, yo, through futuristic wormholes, we came to earth as old souls that book young to sing songs and shine light like glowworms. It's bedtime for the young ones who scared in the dark until the dawn comes. It's showbiz. They show you what a new suit, see space truth be too cool to be fooled by these dudes who talk tough and can't say I love you. Cause you're tight and bless you. My style to the rescue, them demons you suppress and act like you not moved. Stop faking, we got you. Please wipe off the ice grill, we not going to hurt you. This species be the truth, so know that your own strength is knowing that there is no devil.
Let go of your worries. Let go of your cares. Open your hearts and breathe in all the love that is waiting to pour into your lives. You are not on earth to make money, although we celebrate money made with love. You are not on earth to find the perfect partner, although we celebrate loving partnership. The love that creates you, the love that breathes life into you, the love that has never abandoned you, never seen you as anything less than beautiful, perfect, whole, and holy. Be kind to yourselves, dear ones. Treat yourselves as if there is nothing less than divine love within you. When you dress, you are clothing the divine. When you eat, you are feeding the divine. When you go to work, you have an opportunity to allow divine love to work through you. Connect with this love, dear friends, as often as you can. It will transform your life. Love, divine love wants so very much to love you. God bless you. We love you so very much. The angels.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Once again, this is Let's Build. Our discussion today is on trust, and we have more questions. I think Corey wanted to address one of the questions dealing with our music. So take it away, Corey.
So, Lucy, you asked how many songs do we have roughly, and you think you must have heard the majority. Now you reckon. I want to be very happy and joyous in saying that you haven't heard probably not even a quarter of the songs yet, as we only do about 4 to 6 of them at a time during the shows. There's roughly right now about a little over 800.
I want to say about
900. Yeah, 900 and some change. And plenty more to come. This dates back all the way to a year. When was it started, AZ?
Well, we started posting music in 2011 or 12. However, we got a whole catalog of music. We probably recorded maybe about 300 songs prior to our presence on SoundCloud. So, but right now we're roughly over 900 songs published on SoundCloud. Of course, Universal Brothers Circle is one link, and the other link is Basement Politics, where we post music. The Basement Politics page is the SoundCloud page that's still available to download. The other archive is not downloadable. However, if you were to contact us individually, of course, we can send the MP3s as always. Once again, the best things in life are free, and this is the nature of our music. So they're open and available for you as always. You know where to contact us. So let's keep it moving. We got some inquiries, bro.
Yep. Let's check it. Yeah, most of the inquiries about the music. Still, Carrie says, listening to UBC makes my commute linear time cut in half. Faster the time goes as I shine my light. Love, Carrie. Richard, who is that stormtrooper looking dude dancing in the back? Let's see. Hey, Maldisa, thanks for joining.
But you got some other questions
Up top?
I think, yeah.
I'm still
Okay, yeah, Carrie, I see you. She's asking, what is my take on discernment? This is described, mentioned a lot everywhere. Thank you. Yes, we are aware of the statement and the sound vibration of discernment. However, once again, discernment is what a beautiful way of saying judgment. Discernment takes place mentally. This is basically the analysis of what's taking place. The mental analysis of what's taking place is always based in limitation, always based in lack, based on the logical mind's observation of what's taking place. This is discernment. This is judgment. It's the exact same thing. Once again, the terms are used very loosely on different platforms. I'm not saying that there's a wrong or right. However, it's necessary to understand the nature of your frequency when it comes to the statements being expressed. A better, more aligned sense of being when it comes to awareness is about presence. It's not necessarily about analysis or mental analysis of what's taking place. Through your presence, through your intuitive presence, you always know, the heart always knows what's taking place, where this is instantaneous, this is simultaneous to your experience. Discernment is a delayed response. Whenever you're dealing with a delayed response, you're dealing with the mind. This is the ego mind, the logical mind, attempting to analyze the nature of your experience through your presence, through your intuition. You always know what's taking place now. So if anything, it's not about judgment, it's not about discernment, it's about presence. Presence is the home of infinite intelligence where you always know what's taking place now. If a person is lying to you, you know they're lying to you. Beyond analysis, without being discerning, just off of the strength of your presence, you know instantaneously what's taking place. However, this is where grounding is necessary on a daily basis. It's a daily practice. So if you continue to ground yourself and continue to embrace this practice, you'll become more and more sensitive, where there's an instantaneous response from infinite intelligence, where there is not necessarily a need for discernment at all. You're present. You recognize what's taking place. So move away from that term. Move inside and be more present. What else you got, bro?
So from Laura, what's up, Laura? And her son Juju would like to ask you a question.
Juju.
My son Juju would like to ask you what trust is in your opinion.
Trust. Hey, Juju. So check it out, man. Well, first and foremost, recognize we don't operate through opinion. We speak from a place of divine truth and being from the future of humanity. So the nature of trust, as expressed before, trust is a frequency of wisdom. Trust is a frequency of wisdom which exists within your being. Within the silence of your presence, there is trust. Within the peace of being present and completely beyond the mind talking in your head, you're present. And from this place of being, there's the wisdom of trust, where you know that you know what you know, and everything is okay. And all that you are here to experience is happening, and all is well. This is trust, Juju. Embrace it.
Juju's waving to us, yo.
Love.
What's up, Juju?
3 threes. What else you got, bro?
Thurston Hargrove. My 8-year-old mom recently passed. We know that she is okay. However, any suggestions on how I can keep that light shining?
Keep that light shining, Thurston. Once again, much healing to you as we embrace all that have come to this planet to serve and do what they came to do. Your mother had a mission. Her mission is complete. Just offer the strength of your presence here and your healing and leading the way and being a guardian of the new earth. She's done a wonderful job, and I'm 100% sure that she is absolutely proud of you and who you are at this present moment and being a pillar of your awakening. Once again, as souls and leaders of the new earth, we decide and we pick parents and people that are here to assist us in allowing us to stand on the shoulders of giants to propel us into this path of ascension, because it takes much strength and courage and personal confidence and integrity to embrace this path. So once again, your mother is honored amongst the heavens for her part in what it is that you are partaking in and unfolding when it comes to the liberation of this species. She is with the angelic realms and all that is the spiritual hierarchy. She's completed her mission. And now it's time for her to continue to move forward and move on to other journeys and shining the light that is. As you expand and move into the realms of full consciousness, of course, you will be reunited. This is full consciousness. You're aware of all souls that are and have been throughout your journey and the nature of their mission. So, of course, you will be able to connect amongst your path in a later portion of your path. However, at this portion of your path, she has work to do, just as you do. She is continuing her work where she is within the frequency range and dimensional plane that she exists upon at this present moment. And once again, so do you continue your journey in shining the light that is the divine truth of who you are as prime creator. So once again, Thurston, thank you for being here. Many, many healing frequencies to you in this now moment. Know that the mission is complete. The transition of your mother is a celebration, to say the least, and a most divine celebration, because she gave birth to a wonderful being and one of the guardians of the new earth, which will be responsible for the liberation of the species. You have much to be proud of, and so does she. Thank you for being here.
Nothing past that so far, Skywalker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You miss anything?
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, if you guys have any more inquiries on our topic of trust or want to discuss anything else in relevance, please go ahead and state those on the board here. I see that, yeah, please, let's see. Thurston was the last question so far, so if you guys have anything else, go ahead and put them up.
Absolutely. You got about 2 minutes, and we're going to get into another song. Caesar's prepared a beautiful playlist for us, and we continue to post the links to the songs that we play here on our channel. Once again, this is Healing Light Encoded Music downloads within the sonic form, embraced by who we are as one family and who we are as the angelic realms of Galactic Council of the Galactic Federation of Light. Thank you for being here. Once again, today's discussion is on trust and has been on trust. We are taking any inquiries that you may have. And once again, a great honor to connect and shine the light with you as we all heal. It's a process. Trust yourself, trust your love, trust what you have created. Ready, CeeLo?
Sure thing. Okay, so the next song that we're going into this break is called Old Wormholes. This has some relevance in a bit of what we were just talking about. Transition is a celebration. Going through a wormhole, going through a new portal, new part, a new transition in your life. Whether you feel it's up or down, you know, good vibrations, low vibrations, however, it's all within inside of you to accept what's going on and to trust it and to keep moving forward. So without further ado, Old Wormholes.
Old wormholes. Hey. Slow. You on the ground, no? Yo, calligraphy ink, I spill on the beat. Speak to speech for all to see the ancient methods of read. A recipe for special treats to satisfy all the beings who seek the truth beyond the school that teach my peeps in the streets. Like something's new within me, amongst the eagers, hopping fences and exploring the deep. Creep with me, Hootie, Matt, and Nubus and Stupers. With the homeless homies, healing, rocking, lavish, and movies. The service is groovy, you with the truth, you were workers working with the tools, never seen in the movies. Yeah. Yo. God. Yeah. Gold gates, low some flows, telephone, stereo drums, and horns clarion from beyond. You're the council and call the humans to come home. Put down the domes and cellular phones to keep the frequency of home, liberating your tones. Harmonic sonics like alchemical tonics for you to step on. OGs on the fleet, give me that when I sleep. Play on some Black Street. They like no diggity, no doubt within your masquerade. Yo, within your masquerade. Hold up, son, a second. Yo, love, liquid love is busting out their bubble living. Giving lives from television to the angel transmutations and remix. Don't make you pivot. I'm busy grounded by transmissions. I am the source of every blessed text that's operating. Check the business. Keep it gentle, thanks for sharing. I'm just staring in the mirror, steady giving. Never running, rubber, skirt. Meditation, cause I'm awakened and big pastries. With more insight than an egg of Casey. Baby face, but an ancient beauty. On duty, do the work in every moment, coolly. Yeah. Always more creativity, always more service.
See, this is old school.
Say expressions and gratitude.
Get you with 3 like
from the past to the present to the future. Friends keep it real. Switch later. Interior world is contagious. Security's creating. Less famous. Yeah. Right wormhole like Taco Supreme, being divine heroes, ice cold. I'm talking Sub-Zero, freezing ground on some shank shoulders, switch egos, touch your hearts like I'm wearing with Kano. Finish your all balls, cabal, go hard, but we contain them. Ending your one enslavement, the Federation, rep the light, busting out the basement, like the Moors before you see our ships landing. Storm planet, in a still orchestration, skipping comprehension, energetic activation of internal structures. Chopper cutlass, they acting gutless. The most gangster is the kindest. No reminders. Word. Man, ash on the ground. Be up to all my crew.
everybody's coming.
Salute the fleet,
Everybody's wild out. I lied, it's 4 pieces to this. I forgot.
Always more OG crews, we doing what they do for the new earth. Yeah.
Yeah. I tripped out when I I'm the solo with soldier with this got a broken twist. We further view through my independent limits in my belt, no position will be televised for them to share.
creating a bridge between extraterrestrial realities and that of your own daily lives on the surface of Earth, constitutively being multidimensional and embracing your life heritage. As a result of all of the modes of ascension guidance into generously placement of all of the self-destructive energies, then comes with the ability to manifest only source creations in oneness. We stand in stable energies. We are the angelic realms. We are the galactic council. We are the galactic federation of light.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for our last portion of today's Let's Build. Of course, we have been talking about trust, and we are going to go to our last bit of questions for this evening.
You can answer about your cat first. That's a question.
So, let me see, I believe Mel is asking about my cat.
Yeah.
My cat. Well, Lucy, which is the cat in question, Lucy is with her mommy. Yeah, basically she lives in another home right now. Lucy is doing good, getting fat, so she's eating good. And yeah, it's always my heart right there. She has assisted me on so many different levels throughout my journey, but she is okay. She's with Daniel right now, and I am sure they are both doing excellent and well protected as always.
Yeah, I miss Lucy too. She's a very, very wonderful, loving cat. She is. From Thurston Hargrove, can trust be broken beyond repair?
Can the frequency of wisdom, which is within your presence and being eternal, ever be broken? No. No. Fear can be built upon through a disappointment or expectation or unhonored expectation amongst your experience. However, once again, this always remains fear. Fear is always temporary and an illusion. Fear can be built upon through a disappointment. However, once again, it is an illusion. It's necessary to realize if a distortion takes place or a breach of trust is unfolded throughout your reality. It's necessary to know that there are no mistakes and that was something that was necessary. It doesn't necessarily mean it's time to build up more walls and start barricading your love. This is to create more fear. This is to build more barriers and limitations amongst your experience. This is the expectation of more problems. If anything, the healing is necessary, returning to the heart space and once again opening your heart to what is, where you're stronger than that. You have the courage and strength to continue moving forward beyond these distortions and realizing they are but distortions and temporary circumstances. Once again, you are here to experience what you created for yourself. So regardless of which way or through who amongst whoever, that which you have designed for yourself is manifesting, never dependent on anything or anyone outside of yourself. So keep your heart open, regardless of the deceptions that exist amongst humanity, the opportunities being presented, and the trust that are broken amongst those who may be ignorant to the nature of what is taking place. Your unconditional love and acceptance, which is the truth of who you are, allows you to move past these things and continue forth on your journey. It's time to go to work. When darkness appears, you don't run away. You shine brighter, as the sun does. You just shine brighter. That's all that's necessary. What else you got?
Questions? Nope. Mostly comments. The cat question. Yeah, nothing. This is it. Much comments? 15. So if you have any more inquiries, please keep them coming. Or any stories y'all would like to share about trust, or any insights you guys would like to have of any experiences through your life up until this point, please go ahead and share. We would love to hear from you.
So as we approach the last minute, or last, 15 minutes? Yeah, we have 15 minutes left. I'll just summarize a few things, and maybe I might inspire some comments and chime-ins as we summarize the nature of trust. So trust is the act of giving yourself permission to relax. Relax and enjoy the ride. Investing energy in preparing for that which you don't want is not intelligent at all. Never has been. It never has been. Many humans consider preparation for the worst possible scenario, or preparing for the worst. They feel that this activity is responsible. The divine see it otherwise. When you recognize who you are as the creator, you're fueling that which you do not intend to experience, or that which you prefer not to experience. The control factor, because we want to know what's going to happen next. We want to know, it's a must that we know what happens next. The validations and endless confirmations that we feel that we need. I need the knowledge. I need to know what's going on. I need to know how it's going to get paid, and this, that, and the third. It's such a bummer. So draining. It's so draining. You're alive. Your life is a blessing. You're here to live. You're here to experience the love story, the joy of existence. Breathe. Breathe and recognize you are blessed. Breathe and recognize you exist. You're not in any physical pain. This is a blessing. If I've ever experienced a blessing, it would be not to be in any physical pain. I've experienced physical pain before, like a constant physical pain. And to come back from that pain, you recognize the blessing of comfort. You respect peace more than anything. Just being peaceful. And this is one of my monikers that I embrace. Being that I host shows and parties all the time, and I'm kind of in the entertainment business, if you will. I appreciate my home and the area that I live in to be beautiful and boring. Where I live, I want it to be beautiful and boring. I just respect peace that much. I respect beauty that much. Excitement and the extreme levels of stimuli, they have their place. However, where I rest, where I create, where I exist, the majority of the time, I love it to be peaceful. I live here in Wiesbaden, Germany, not the biggest city in the world, but kind of sort of considered the Beverly Hills of Germany here in Europe. So they have a lot of kurhouses and casinos and spas in this area of Germany. They're famous for their architecture, high ceilings, some of the old structures remain here. A lot of the old structures remain here from the 30s, 20s and 30s and 40s prior to World War I and II. This is one of the cities that weren't bombed. It's very beautiful here. However, once again, it's not the it's not where they're going to hold the next Oscar Awards or the Super Bowl. It's very peaceful here. I enjoy it, and it's a great platform that caters to a stream of divine creativity because of that solitude and a refined presence. That's why I create. You respect peace, the more evolved you become, the more wise you become in nature. You recognize and respect the blessing of life and the beauty of peace and the frequency of presence. And that presence, that frequency includes trust, integrated the nature of wisdom. So, giving yourself permission to relax and embrace the now moment. It's nature of trust. It's not about believing. It's not about praying, wishing, hoping. It's an aspect of knowing. Aspect of knowing. You know what's taking place. You know like you know that you know. So you trust. Beyond all fear, beyond the mental activity of assuming or attempting to control projections, expectations, anticipation, you know like you know that you know. You accept the now moment for what it is and know that you're experiencing something that the mind or the imagination, the function or capacity of the imagination could never conjure in a million years. This is the nature of your experience. An absolute blessing. You got any more questions, CeeLo?
I got some story shares here. Yes. So from Mel, she went downstairs today and had a brother bless her with a home-cooked meal. She was not expecting that. Trust that what you require is always provided.
Absolutely. Too blessed to be stressed. Marissa.
Then Juliana, she said she's had a direct life-threatening experience last Tuesday, magically escaping a car accident. So she felt a powerful divine protection and guidance. So
absolutely. You're always protected. Know that you're always safe, and through that sense of trust, you're always going to be okay. It's about trusting it.
Ronald, life is so bright, I have to wear shades.
You heard? Wear them shades, Ronald.
You know what I mean?
Keep cool.
Let's see. Sakicha, she said the share for Joanna was something beautiful. Being able to trust, which reduces the fear and pain you could not have had. Just being able to be at peace always.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Enjoying your experience beyond analysis.
Knowledge sauce.
Once again, that trust is in existing beyond the thought patterns of the ego mind. When you exist within the heart space, that frequency of wisdom is trust. This is where you trust. You trust enough to accept and embrace what you created. You trust yourself enough to trust what you created for yourself. This is existing beyond the mind in preparation of this and that and attempting to protect yourself, from what you created as God. Once again, you're okay. This is your experience. This is your life. To truly experience life, it's necessary to let go, open up, and embrace it beyond the thought patterns of fear. Trust cannot be lost because it's an integrated aspect of your existence. It's within your presence. It's not about learning to trust again. It's about releasing and dissolving, allowing the dissolving of the walls and defense mechanisms that you created based on the experiences you've had within the linear unfoldment. It's all there. The trust has always been there. It's a releasing process. It's an unlearning process. It's never about learning. Never, 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 never about learning. It's a releasing process. You are infinite intelligence. It's all within you. I wrote earlier today that silence is where you recognize that you are the source of all information. In the silence, you recognize that you are the source of all information. Every book that has ever been written and will ever be written will come from no other than your own heart, which you always have access to in this now moment. Let go. Wisdom is in trusting yourself enough to let go and know that you will know all that you need to know in this now moment, and that you always know exactly what you need to know in this now moment as you unfold your unfoldment, that which you have created as the creator. Here and now. This is the home of infinite intelligence. You are a prime creator. To say this and embody this is two totally different things. It's very easy to say that. It's very hard to embrace it.
We love you too, Danielle.
So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, the path is clear. Your path will always be clear and always has been clear. However, it is the frequency of peace that allows you the openness and wisdom to embrace all that you need to continue forth on your path in this now moment. There's nothing to figure out about your life. It only requires the strength and confidence and wisdom to be present and recognize you're always being provided for, because it's an integrated aspect of that which you created. As you move through life, life will present you all that you need to continue to move forward. You're not being challenged because, once again, you're God. There is no challenge that God can create for the self that is not insurmountable. You're God. Even you can't come up with something that you can't overcome. So you're not being challenged. The obstacles are illusions. Why? Because everything you need is there. The moment you get there, the moment you get to where you are going, that which you need to continue to move forward will be presented. And what does that require? Peace. Peace, silence, presence allows you the awareness of the tools, ideas, and notions that you need to continue to move forward. There are no prerequisites other than your own confidence to accept yourself and know that you're okay. There are no prerequisites. You have all that you need right now. You know all that you need to know right now. The appreciation of life is in appreciation of the experience itself. The appreciation of the experience is in experiencing the experience beyond analysis. This is beyond mental function, beyond the thinking and attempts to figure things out. You appreciate the life that you have through breathing and enjoying the breath that you're breathing and recognizing that it is a blessing and gratitude. Trust, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Once again, a great honor and pleasure to connect with you as always. Every Thursday here on this wall, Universal Brothers and Sisters will present our Let's Build as we continue to heal, always for the new earth. Once again, this is the last lifetime here in human form on planet Earth, where those of you on this path are the leaders of the new earth in the liberation of the species. Embrace it, accept it, continue to focus within, cultivate your gifts, so we all may take part in the proactive healing of this world as we know it, as we reintegrate ourselves within the galactic community. We are the angelic realms of the Galactic Council or the Galactic Federation of Light. I am your commander, Ashtar, and we are Universal Brothers and Sisters, all of us. Special thanks and shout out to Dr. Manhattan, Born 13, for joining us today. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please tune in to the Banana Gorilla Radio Show, which will be presented very soon, coming up later on this month. We have the houseification classes, which are instructed by Born 13 out in Frankfurt. We will join him a couple times this month to join those class or to partake in those classes, and we'll probably be streaming live from his classroom there in Frankfurt. Big shout out to Amun Ra for joining us this evening, coming back from training out in K-Town, still doing the soldier thing. He's a medical personnel, saving lives. Saving lives on the field and on and off the field. Just came back from Bulgaria, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, just came back from Bulgaria. Yeah, I think they're trying to send him back. Go and get that money. It's all good. We still rolling. Big shout out to CeeLo, C's for providing y'all music tonight. Yeah. The playlists are always gorgeous and healing as always. Big shout out to Jessie back there in the corner. Y'all probably receive a drop from her later on this evening. She is on the Trap Heaven album, which is being released. Once again, Trap Heaven next weekend, not this coming weekend, next weekend. Next Saturday, the 12th of August, we'll be having the release party of Trap Heaven here at the Raw, and you will be tuning in live, and we will have many, many special guests in the house live with us here at the Raw. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for being here. Oh, I'm sorry, special shout out to all of those who are participating in our Go Yoda Go campaign, which is basically all of the Dabbing Yoda artwork pieces that are being spread around throughout the social media platforms. Once again, the paradox of love and our expression of divine healing. The Yoda campaign is pretty cool, and basically all of you embracing those, putting the profile pictures up and the cover photos up, and expressing your own creativity through that platform is greatly appreciated and honored. I will share as many of those as possible on our page and platform, where the Trap Heaven album is a form of healing provided by us as a collective. And it is a great honor to do this service along with you. Once again, one team, one family. We love you all. Thank you for being here. 333. We will do a closeout song this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, CeeLo.
So, present to you guys Extra Gang. It's another fine song that AZ provided. This was about last winter time frame. But it's very prolific, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And I will provide the link as all the ones before in the description. If you guys missed any songs, you can scroll up and look at the comments, and the links are provided for our SoundCloud page. So much gratitude and pleasure for y'all to be here again with us. Thank you for joining the community. We'll see y'all next week. Actually, next Tuesday, Miss Ellen.
No,
yeah,
let's do that. Sorry. I apologize. You know what? I'll be doing an interview with Todd Miranda tomorrow evening around this time, and we will be posting that on the page. So, I'm sorry, Todd Medina. So, Soulology. We'll join the Soulology community for an interview tomorrow evening, and we'll catch y'all tomorrow then. So, thank you for joining us as always. UBC. Salute the fleet.
My dream has finally come true. Boot camp. And now this isn't bad. And dry hot and all the green Andy, this is the go life.
Yeah. You know what this is? Y'all. We like the last of the old niggas out here, them short school OGs. School the youngers a little bit. Yo, direct from the alley, some report in. Beat up your beat breaks for the beat tape. Told them back up, I don't know how to behave. Kiss my fan before I came to earth incarnate. Said when up your Michael, baby, please be safe. Be bold and say humanity for peace sake. You got the sports swinging nice like a light blade. Don't renege on the kids when you play spades. Take books and make hooks that catch their mind faded. Slipping, tripping, go hard on toppers and fear of loving. All muscle, but the brother too weak to hug them. Kiss your mother on the cheek, don't be a sucker. When the fridge was clean, then you have peanut butter or syrup or mayonnaise or to fill your tummy. Get home for tough kids cause they know it's funny. How they forget how to smile when they got more money. Talking crazy to each other, yo, they straight frontin'. We royal out in heaven, civilized and savage, check it. Smoke. Yeah. Live from the bridge, the Rainbow Kids. From the New Earth, Brown Food Cordell. Command team, dog. Yeah, love. Bigger shots from the bridge, bro. Every day we serving like a mother man. Call the biggest thing when you come back, rubber band, yeah, gonna stand on them. Told them, wait a minute, I was already on hand again. The earth, the recognition to the service to the mission, and it was another one, bro. Oh, you dealing with a master now, dog on it. Elohim, river for the dog star on them. Now be bouncing on the cosmic fountain, yo, we float in heaven, just chillin'. Life filaments that stumble down from the ceiling. I got the DNA trimming like shoestring. They triple the number, it's crystalline. 7 chakras and it's a 13. In confidence, I've been bopping since it's been consciousness within the consciousness that is the infinite. Bring yourself in this, it's just time to rep this God within the best. Spinning around the universe, be rocking my verses, the crystal different systems of bliss is tripping in galaxies. Look on me, with beings evolving within, helping them move through the mix and build up their motherships. Kid. And join the Federation is a new star nation. Probably the realest state I ever wrote. We're looking at you, looking at us, hoping, wishing, praying for our land while you stargaze. 6.7 of the 7 billion on the planet, still feel we be out here playing. Look, I say I'm E.T. laughing, dude. Gotta break their back so kids have some food. They laugh at Trump cause they comfortable, but when the rubber meets the road, yo, they hope it's true. It ain't funny when you ain't hurt, cause you're focused on your life work. I told him I'ma go first, cause I'm a leader of the new earth. Boy, I promised daddy I would maintain for him, bang on him if it was ever necessary for me to go to bad game on him. I was game, go give a dame on him, I'm saying no. I'ma know I'm down like both flex eyes on fire, slide in the choir, even if I'm tired on the grind. I'll never retire, check the file, I'm a wild one for eyes. Unified, right of that angel eyes is I. Archangel Michael, I'm more than survive. Leading the way, homie, don't be surprised. Grab the bell, back up to the sky. Hey, yo.
Love y'all.
Peace.